Everybody, I wanted to try to make a video for those that don't know my story. And you have to bear with me because I'm still very bad off. My head's still really screwed up. But I'm going to try to make this short, and I hope I don't forget too much because I've had real bad cognitive neurological problems right now. I can't have no forethought, no visualization abilities. I have severe depersonalization and derealization where I have no sense of reality and no perception of time at all. It's as if I'm just stuck in another dimension where nothing exists outside of myself. I'm still unable to feel any emotions. Any good emotions at all. I still feel like my brain doesn't move me to do nothing. It's like all I can do is pretty much sit in one spot all day long. Unless I absolutely have to get up to do something. And it's like unreal. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm not even embarrassed about it because I'm fighting for my fucking life, but I can't even shower but once a week. It's that bad. Just going to a doctor's appointment once a month is beyond hard as fuck for me. And sorry for my language, but this mental stuff, I don't, things just fly out. But anyway, let's start. Okay. Let's see, between 2000 and 2010, I was prescribed benzos, but I hardly ever took them. Unless I was very, very upset because I didn't like anything that knocked me out or made me feel drunk feeling. Like I've never cared for alcohol really either. So around 2010, my doctor took me off of Soma, and I was sleeping. I was using Somas to sleep. So I switched to my Xanax, and I started taking them for sleep. And I had a little anxiety my whole life, but not too bad. And the next thing I know, I started having bad anxiety and panic attacks. My main problem was at the start, so I switched to Klonopin. I switched to Klonopin around, I think, 2013, the end of 2013 or so. And within a year, I got up to 4 to 6 milligrams of Klonopin. Well, I changed. I would become impulsive. I was doing things I would have never done. Severe panic and anxiety. Severe suicidal depression every single night. I stayed angry for literally no reason at all. None. My brain would focus on every little sound. If I was trying to sleep and heard a car outside, it would piss me off, literally. I would get so mad at the fact I even had to hear that car while I'm trying to sleep. Just obsessive, negative looping thoughts in my head. Non-stop, no matter how well my life was going. Emotionally blunted, where I couldn't feel like I should have. It got to a point where I felt like my brain my body wasn't moving. Like I had no drive to move. Let's see what else. I know I'm gonna forget a lot. But it reached the point where I told the doctor I thought I had multiple sclerosis because my sister had that. It was so bad, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. And I got this obsessive OCD about working out all of a sudden. And it was obsessive. It was literally the only thing I could do. I would work out 2 hours a day and come home. Friends weren't seeing me because I had no drive and no energy to do nothing. And it's worse than a fatigue. It's like your brain just isn't moving you to do nothing. When I realized it was a Klonopin doing it, in my mind I thought, okay, well, I'll switch back to the Xanax, Well, at first the doctor didn't want to give me the Xanax. The psych doctor didn't. So she tried me on 3.5 Valiums. And I tried that. Well, I would take them all at night. That's another thing. I didn't really take them during the day. Well, I would get this horrible panic and stuff. And in my mind, I thought, well, the Valium just don't work. I never thought I was in withdrawals from it. Now I know what was going on with me. So I would take the Klonopin with the Valium to sleep. So at this point, I'm up to 4 to 6 milligrams of Klonopin, 3 milligrams of Valium. And the next month I went back and I'm like, the Valium just aren't working, and I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm getting worse. So she tried me on 1 milligrams of Valium. Well, knowing what I know now, it was cutting my dose way in half, the Valium. That's why I was having to take the Klonopin with it. And why, when I would just take the Valium, it was panicking shit, you know. So that month I took 4 to 6 milligrams of Klonopin with the 3 milligrams of Valium. And mind you, my doses were never stable. They always depended on how I felt that night. If I felt I could sleep, I would take less. Another thing, I never abused benzos, ever. Guys, whenever I quit this medicine, I had over 300 of them sitting at my house with refills. I still had a doctor giving them to me. And you're about to find why I went cold turkey. Well, anyway, after that second month with the other Valium, I finally went to my old doctor and I'm like, look, you know, this medicine is really messing me up. I know I was better on Xanax, you know, so he gave me the Xanax. So in my mind, I thought, oh, I'm fine. I'll be fine now. It worked fine before. So I go home, and I don't take no more Klonopin. And the next thing I know, I'm in withdrawals, y'all. And I'm not kidding. I had the whole sweating, the restless legs, the internal vibrating, panic, anxiety. And I knew it was withdrawals, but it was it was a worse withdrawal than anything I've ever known to man. I've come off a lot of his shit in my life. So, and I never thought we'd go back to the Klonopin. Guys, with this withdrawal, when I got thrown into it, summer of 2015, it wasn't like a normal withdrawal, like you just sweating and all that. No, this was a mental, where it like shut my brain down. I didn't want to communicate. Or it wasn't that I didn't want to communicate with people. It was my brain was not allowing me to communicate. And now I know the word for it is called aphasia. Okay, you can Google it. But I mean, if somebody texted me, it was like I didn't know what to say back to them. I didn't... That whole feeling of not being able to move or do anything got worse. The panic, the anxiety got worse. I mean, I was having like 24/7 panic attacks for literally no reason, guys. And so for 7 months, I couldn't function. I couldn't see friends. I couldn't do nothing but sit here and be in complete hell for 7 months. With my brain not working right. I mean, it got to a point where I couldn't even really read Facebook no more. Whereas before, I was every day, I'd read it, you know. But in them 7 months, I got to where I wouldn't even read Facebook. I couldn't talk to friends. You know, if they texted me, I could text them back. But even, like, if they text me, like, normally your brain would tell you in a split second what the text says, what you need to say back to it. Mine literally would not do it and still won't. It's like something in there's blocked. And it's like on pause, and it literally will not tell me what to say or nothing. So, I mean, I was in hell for 7 months. Didn't know what was wrong with me. I knew it had something to do with the medicine. Because there was that withdrawal. I switched. I was thrown into that withdrawal, and I wasn't right after it. So, I knew it had something to do with the medicine, but I didn't know the extent to it. Okay. During this time, I would try to take more. I would try to updose my Xanax. If that wouldn't work. And I would even try the Klonopin again. And instead of it calming me, it would shoot this adrenaline panic, chemo sick feeling through my damn body. Like, it was so horrible. And all this time, and I even told the doctor when I first got thrown into the withdrawals, I'm like, what is going on with me? I was freaking out. I was like, what is going on with me? I'm having some kind of withdrawals, and, I'm still on them. And, whenever I told the psych doctor that, this woman I will never forget, and it was the worst, it's the worst thing anybody should have to fucking go through, This woman looked at me and she said, I'm not gonna, because at this point I'm like, what's wrong with me? Do I need to go back to the Klonopin and taper? Am I gonna be okay? Because I knew that could cause seizures, but I didn't know nothing else. She says, I'm not gonna tell you how to do nothing. She says, I think you need to go to rehab. And I wasn't abusing them. I told her, I said, look, I have over 300 of them at my house. I'm not even asking you for a script right now. I just want to know what in the hell is wrong with me. But she wouldn't believe me. So, 2 more doctors. So the same thing. Oh, it's not possible you're having withdrawals. You're still on benzo. So I was left 7 months not knowing what was wrong with me. In complete hell. And most friends don't know nothing because I look and I sound fine. But, I'm not. I'm very fucked up. And I've never been one to reach out to people at my worst. So every night I was so suicidal. Like the most hopeless feeling anybody can have. And you know what? My fear of death is the only reason I'm alive, y'all. And it's scary because there's so many people out here on these things that are going through this. And they're not as strong. I can't believe what these things do to people. I just can't believe it. But anyway, after that 7 months, my brain was so retarded, y'all. It didn't think to research the medicine. I didn't even know what a benzo was. I did not know what the hell a benzo was. Okay. So, in my mind, I'm like, well, I'm going to go to rehab and I'm going to get off of them. Because in there they give you medicine to get through your withdrawals. And, I thought I'll have my clear head back and my, my body back and be able to function again and see my friends and everything else. Well, I didn't know that I was about to throw myself into complete hell. Like, complete non-stop tortured hell. Like, there's no words for it. There's none. Then my whole time there's so much in there I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure I went through psychosis because I was so fucking whacked in my head. Like, I couldn't think of home. I swear to God, it's been like taking LSD every day since I've done it. With no sense of reality, no sense of time around me. I remember one time sitting there talking to a bunch of girls outside smoking. And I remember sitting there and I'm like, sitting still and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. 1 minute I'm like this and I'd be still and then I'd jump up and I'd say, and the next minute I'm like, rah! And then I'd sit back down and I'd keep repeating it over and over and over and over. And I don't know how I've managed not to be in a psych ward or anything else through this. Most people would have. They would have been in a psych ward, back on this shit. I mean, seriously, this is hell. And, there was also a part, I couldn't remember lunch times, group times. My brain, half the time, wouldn't remember when somebody would talk to me, wouldn't think of what they're saying or what to say back to them. I could do it, but it was like in my head, it was not right. Like, within a second of somebody talking, you know exactly what they say, exactly what you're going to say back, but it wasn't like that in my head. Words is never going to describe this shit ever. But I do remember one time I was sitting outside And it's like people would get up to leave for group or lunch or whatever. Normally when that happens, your brain says, okay, it's group or it's lunchtime. They're leaving to go to lunch or group. My brain literally would not do that. I'd be sitting there, everybody leaving, my brain not even telling me shit. And then later I'd kind of come to and everybody be gone. And it'd be like, oh my God, where did everybody go? You know, I'm talking, I was totally out of my fucking mind. Nobody had no clue how out of my mind I was. And how bad I was. And how terrified I was. Because I had to act normal in front of everybody, you know. And I learned quick not to say nothing about it. Because, you know, I'm in there with all the addicts. They're getting better as I'm getting worse. The nurses in there are addicts, you know. And whenever I would mention to them, look, I'm getting worse. What's wrong with me? There's no way you're getting worse. You've been off, you know, such and such days. Well, with benzo withdrawals, it's not like others, you know. Most people go in and by a week they're starting to get better. Instead, mine hit me about day 5 or 6. I was out of my fucking mind. Like, totally out of my mind. And it's so out of my mind, I couldn't even think to tell the doctor how out of my mind I was. I couldn't sleep at night. I'm walking the fucking halls, walking outside while everybody else is asleep. Then whenever I lay down, I had akathisia, where I had to keep moving and moving my arms and my legs. I remember one time my head going like this. And while my head's going like this and my arms going like this, and I felt manic, like totally out of my mind, raging. I remember one day in there, it was about, I didn't eat the whole time I was there hardly. Like, I never went, like somebody would bring me a roll or something and I would bite it here and there through the day and then be it. I got down to 175 by the time I got out of there. And I was 185 when I went in. Okay, so this woman, I went to the cafeteria one morning about 6 and asked her for a banana. And she rolled her eyes, got attitude with me. And I'm going to tell you what, I've never felt a rage so bad in my entire life. Like, I had Hulk rage. Like, I could have ripped the woman's head off. And you know what? It lasted me all day long. It wasn't like an hour later I'm fine about it. No. I'm serious, y'all. From 6 in the morning to probably 7 that night, I was raging about it. Like, I could have just killed her. And it was scary. I've never in my life experienced rage like that, ever. I mean, it's like totally being completely out of your mind. You don't know if you're going to die one minute to the next. And you feel like you're going to lose control and end up in a psych ward or hurt somebody. It's scary. But anyway, God. See, just talking gets me. This is why one reason nobody hears from me, because it gets all my anxiety and shit going up. God, come on, brain, where are we at? So anyway, I get out, and I remember the day I got out, I've never felt so out of my mind, drunk on LSD in my life. I sat in that parking lot a good hour, scared out my mind to fucking drive that car. Because it was so out of it. And all the medicines I've taken and drinking on top of them, I have never felt that drunk. Never felt that out of my mind in my life. You know, and it didn't end when I come home. This shit has been going on 18 fucking straight months. And instead of me getting better, I got worse. You know, I had the worst internal akathisia, which I didn't know at the time what it was. Where your whole body feels like an adrenaline, panic, anxiety, shaking internal through your whole entire body. If the outside of me would have looked like the inside of me, I would have literally been like, Rah. For months, I had air hunger so bad that I felt like a pillow was smothering my face and somebody was choking me to death. if anything got my heart rate up in the tiniest little bit, it ramped everything up even worse. I mean, I can't even put into words, y'all. Like, I could hardly read and write for months. Words really made no sense to me. This aphasia has been horrible. Like, thinking of what to say. I can't start conversations. I couldn't watch a movie for 14 straight fucking months. Because my brain literally would not take in no new information or nothing. Holding a conversation, I got so bad over last summer and up until this month that my brain wasn't, like, people would talk to me and it was like I couldn't understand what they were saying. And my brain would be on pause and I think of what to say back. Like, so horrible. And, God, I still can't believe a medicine does this shit. Let's see, where am I? But anyway, how I got worse. As if this benzo shit is not bad enough. Let me tell you. My body's been so sensitive to everything that's unreal. Food. Every time I would eat, I would feel panic shoot through my body. I would feel like I was being smothered to death. Just from food. Okay? Then I made another mistake that I didn't know nothing about. I drank some alcohol. I'm going to tell you what. I had the most severe reaction to that shit. That was worse than my cold turkey ever was, and I still haven't escaped it yet. Just from some alcohol. Just from some damn alcohol. You know, I've had so many setbacks in this that it's unreal, and I think that's, my friends and my family might not understand it, because I was able to function some in the beginning. Everything was so hard for me to do, like beyond words. I felt like my body was in mud and quicksand. I swear to God, I can't put into words the fucking hell I've been through. I have went through hundreds of fucking symptoms at one time. My stomach has stayed upset for 18 months straight. Every single day. Every day. Okay? My body has blew the fuck up. Gained 65 pounds, even though I eat once a day. Food doesn't taste good to me. I don't crave nothing. Everything just... And there was a point where, I had no appetite. I had to force myself to eat. But yet my body has blew up. My hair's falling out. My hair right now feels like damn pine straw. Like, I've lost so much hair, it's ridiculous. But horrible. Like, here at 18 months off, I have a lot of concentration issues. I swear to God, it feels like some kind of dementia. Because I can't look into days. Like, I can't even look into the night. Or last night. At all. Like, I'm always stuck in the same time that I'm in right now. I mean, it's so fucked up, I can't even describe it. Like, y'all have no clue. I mean, my body, for months on end, 24/7, was telling me I was dying of heart attacks and strokes. I'm talking the numb arms, your heart going insane, and know that, but my body literally telling me, Jennifer, you're dying right now, and you're not going to live till tomorrow. And I had to just write it out. There was nobody I could call. There was no doctor I could call. Because if I take the wrong thing right about now, it will fuck me up a lot worse than I already am. I learned that with alcohol. And now I'm fucking terrified of everything. You'll never see me drink again. Ever. I mean, I've been traumatized by this shit. I cannot believe that there's a medicine out there that does this shit to people. Like, something that'll make you feel like you're literally dying 24/7. I don't know how I'm alive. I seriously do not know how the fuck I'm alive right now. Because I feel like I've died 1,000,000 times over and over and over and over. Every night, whenever I would go to bed, my brain would tell me it was shutting down and dying, and I wasn't going to live till the next day. As if that isn't bad enough, the intrusive thoughts that this shit caused my brain was fucking insane. Like, for no reason, my brain would tell me, your mama's dying in the next room. And I'm telling you, when the thought would hit, it would be like it's literally happening. The panic shooting through my body and everything else. I would literally have to go check on her. Or I'd be laying here and for no reason my brain would say, your dog's dead right now. And it would be like it was happening. The panic shooting through my body and everything. Like insane fucking shit that you cannot even fathom. Like, even fathom. I've lost friends over this shit. I've lost relationships over this shit. Like, I can't function. I cannot leave my house to do shit. Everybody's out here, you know, going to the beach and shit. I can't do that. A matter of fact, the past 2 summers I couldn't handle the heat. Well, especially last summer. Yeah, that's another thing. My body temperature stayed at 99.9 for 17 months straight. I could not handle heat. The least little bit of heat would make me feel smothered and like I was gonna scream and run. The whole winter, my vents stayed covered and my room stayed cold because I could not. That's how bad my heat intolerance was. And before this, I was the opposite. Like, I could not handle to be cold and I could handle the heat. I don't know how the fuck I've done anything at all in this. It's been like I've been totally brain damaged, lobotomized, and fed LSD every single day since I come off that shit. Like, most people say, oh, I got memory problems, that kind of, no, this is another level. This is brain damage, straight brain damage shit. Like, I can't that's another reason friends and family does not hear from me. I literally cannot think of nobody. I cannot think of a conversation to start, or anything. Like, if somebody texts me, then it'll get my brain going, and I can kind of conversate with them or something. But other than that, I can't. One thing I had to learn through this is I've had to distract myself 24/7 to live through it. And the way I've done that is forcing my retarded brain power, what little bit I have, on reading Facebook groups and helping others going through this. Even that's hard. Like, and you know what? This is hell enough, but when you're so tortured and damaged inside and you look and you sound fine, it's fucking hell that nobody can fathom, really. But, this is probably long as hell. Anyway, God, what was I going to say? But anyway, come to find out, reason I'm so fucked up from this medicine is a small percentage of people, lucky me, get this benzo withdrawal syndrome. Okay? Not only that, but come to find out, the more times that you come on and off of a benzo, it can kindle your brain, and it causes longer and more severe withdrawals from benzos or alcohol. Well, looking into my past, I come off of Ambien cold turkey twice in my past, which is a benzo in disguise that I never realized. But looking back now, I know, because whenever I come off that shit before, I did this type of stuff where I was shut down, couldn't really function really and shit. Dog, God. But that, and I mean, this medicine, if people had a clue, they would fucking beat the hell out of their doctor for even trying to prescribe it to them. They'd run away screaming from this shit. Like, this is total disability. Dying every day like a gun is at your head 24/7. Terror. Torture. I mean, the fear. What it is it's that your body gets stuck on fight or flight mode. Like somebody's literally killing you. And that's how it is, 24/7. You can't find no joy in life, no peace, no nothing. I'm a hell of a lot better than I was. At least all my scary stuff left about 14 months. Like, I don't feel like I'm dying 24/7 no more, thank God. My anxiety only comes when I have to conversate, talk, or go anywhere. But I mean, I've been so bad. My own sister come down into town twice this year. I haven't been able to even see her. None of my friends see me unless they take me to one of my doctor's appointments. That's the only time somebody will see me. Because I just cannot function enough to even do that. Hell, I can't even fucking shower, for God's sake. It's just unbelievable. Heroin addicts and alcoholics, they get better. They can at least function and, not be tortured 24/7 out of their minds. If I didn't know any better, I know I would have been in a psych ward or put on 1,000,000 medicines and made worse. And it's a miracle I don't have a high dollar, medical bill too, because most people going through this go to the damn emergency room 1,000,000 times because you literally feel like you're dying. But for me, I knew I couldn't call them because the reaction I had to the alcohol, if they were to give me a benzo or something wrong, as sensitive as my nervous system's been, it would have fucking made me so worse. I probably wouldn't have made it. And I swear to God, another setback would have took me out. That last setback in September, I still have not recovered from. And that was alcohol. Food, for God's sake. Cooked in alcohol. That's how fucked my whole body is from that medicine. But anyway, about this medicine. Come to find out, it can take some people years, decades, but the medicine will damage and can damage the GABA receptors that run through your entire body. Okay? And when you come off, everything's fucked. You gotta wait for those receptors to heal. Nothing can heal them but time. And as if that isn't bad enough, alcohol or another benzo, anything that touches those damaged receptors will make somebody 100 times worse than they already are. Even supplements could fuck me up. I mean, food, for God's sake, was messing me up. It's been hell. There's people that's been sitting here tapering for 2 years, slowly, and they can't function at all. Their symptoms are so bad just from tapering that slow. And then when we come off, we got, a good 2-3 years before we can function again. And nobody ever knows how their body's going to react to this drug. A lot of people can come off the first time with no problems. I personally know people who have, which is insane. Like, how can you come off and be fine and I'm completely brain damaged out of my mind like I'm on LSD every day? It's insane. But the thing is, there's a lot of people in these groups. They come off the first time fine and they got back on it, and now they're in hell, complete hell, trying to come off of it. So if you're out there and you come off of them, don't get back on them. Another thing, now looking back, I know back when I was sick on them and I didn't know what was wrong with me, what it was is these things, after they stop working, they create something called interdose intolerance withdrawals. Even though you're still on them, these symptoms mimic everything from mental disorders, fibromyalgia, MS, which is why I thought I had MS. I mean, it's insane. Hundreds of symptoms. And when this happens, most people don't know what the hell's wrong with them, just like I did, like I was. They have millions of tests done, and all the tests come out fine. And all along, it's the benzo causing all of it, and the person don't even know. A lot of people end up in the psych wards to come off this shit and lose their ever loving minds, and not knowing what's wrong with them because no doctor's going to tell them. It's sad and it's screwed up, and people need to be warned about this medicine. They need to be warned. Nobody should have to suffer like this. You know what? I'm beyond blessed that I was already on disability and that I live with my parents, and I could close myself into my room to heal from and be tortured 24/7 to heal from this. There's people out here with jobs and kids. I would have lost my job. I would have lost my kids. I mean, I cannot function at all. At all. Like, I feel so brain damaged and lobotomized. It's not even funny. I've never felt so slow-minded and stupid and mentally handicapped in my entire life. And you know what? But I just wanted to let all my friends know some of my story about this. Because you haven't heard from me or seen me in a long time. And let y'all know that's why you don't hear from me and that's why you don't see me. It's not because I don't want to see y'all or that I don't miss y'all, because that's not the case. It's because I literally can't. I can't. And you know what? I am a little better than I was. God knows if people only had a clue, man, how tortured I was. And just having them talk to somebody would make I was so bad off, my nervous system and everything. That just talking to somebody was making me so much worse, And all through this, I've had to act normal, And yeah, I was able to function some there for months after I come off, but everything I did felt so impossible. People just have no fucking clue how impossible it was. And I was being tortured every night by doing it because it was making all my symptoms even worse. But, my stepdad fed me that fucking alcohol food, over the last summer. And it threw me into another level of hell that I did not know existed. Like, it was worse than my original cold turkey was. And I haven't been able to function at all since then. Like, none. At least I could shower a little bit before then. And see people once in a while. But anyway, that is pretty much my story from what my brain will allow me to spit out. I'm so out of it that it's not even funny. Like, I swear to God, it feels like I have taken a hit of LSD. Like, right now, I have no sense of reality around me at all. This doesn't even feel real. I don't even feel like I'm doing this right now. No perception of time at all. No, I'm not able to visualize things in my head. Also, my brain feels blank. Like, most people have a million thoughts in your mind. Like, usually somebody could do a video, and in their mind, they're thinking what they got to do tonight, what they're about to say. There's none of that in my head at all. Like, none. There's no fucking thoughts in my head at all. That's how damaged my brain is. But you know what? It's a lot better compared to what it was, thank God. I'm slowly getting there. But I'm still at 18 months off. I'm still can't function yet. And I still got a ways to go. And there's no telling. There's no way of me knowing when I'm ever going to get better from this. That's another thing that makes this benzo hell so much more horrific, is you do not know when you're going to heal from it. You know, you don't know when it's going to be over. And a lot of people get what's called windows, which I did have like a semi-window the last time I seen my sister, I think around my 3rd month or so, where my symptoms had eased up a lot. I mean, I still was bad, but my symptoms had eased up the most they had this entire 18 months. And before I know it, I'm slammed with even worse symptoms, you know. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I don't know how I've survived this. I really don't. But I mean, I can see good things coming from it. Like, my anxiety ain't like it was. Like, I'm talking this entire time on the benzos. I had the worst panic and anxiety on them things. Didn't realize it, but it was the benzos causing my panic and anxiety. Worse than I'd had it before I got on them. Okay. Coming off, even 100 times more horrific. It's like you're a turtle with the shell ripped off, and every single nerve in your body is raw. Hypersensitive to sounds. And I mean, I was hearing shit. I was seeing shit. Sounds would come out wrong. Like, somebody could be beside me talking and it would sound like they were across the room. Sounds would come out all kinds of insane ways. I would feel bugs crawling on me. I would feel like the dog was jumping over my body when I was trying to sleep at night. Jerks and twitches and the most insane, horrific shit that nobody ever wants to experience in their entire fucking life. Like, I still cannot believe this shit's fucking possible. How in the fuck is this possible? Especially when we being off this shit for so long. I was not messed up like this before I got on this shit, you know? And I hope somebody out there's listening to this who's not on benzos, who will never, ever touch them things. They are like playing Russian roulette. I swear to God, they are. If you are on them, please get to the information you need about them. There's a lot of benzo groups out here, benzo buddies, but there's so much information that you need to know about how they damage the GABA receptors in your body, and also about interdose intolerance withdrawals. Because a lot of people, they don't realize they're having them. Their panic and everything starts getting worse, and they think it's just their natural panic when it's not. It's the medicine's turn, and it's not working right no more, and it's got them nerves all fucked up in there. And you need to know how to safely come off of them. There's doctors out here ripping people off these things cold turkey. I cannot imagine. At least, thank God I did it on my own, and I was safely in a rehab. Because I'm telling you, I was so out of my mind, I could not have gotten out of that rehab if I wanted to. Like, I couldn't have. It was one day I tried, and they moved me to one person to the next, and I'm so mentally bad off that I finally gave up. But and you know, instead of getting better, it was worse. It's not like another drug. And this stuff, when you come off of it, it don't hit you in a few days. This stuff hits you weeks after your very last dose. Most rehabs want to let you out around 6 days, right when the shit's about to hit the fan. And I mean, I remember feeling my brain wanting to seize, even on all the medications they had me on. It is no wonder why I'm so mentally handicapped right now. My brain feels like scrambled eggs. What in the hell else? God. This is one reason I don't do videos, because I have no forethought of what I'm going to say or nothing. But just warn everybody about these guys. I'm telling you, you could save somebody's life. Nobody should have to be messed up by a medicine like this. And when you do your research, like research World Benzo Awareness Day videos on YouTube. and listen to the stories of those people. And that's what I've been going through. These are all people who took them as prescribed, never abused them. In fact, out of all these groups, and as long as I've been in them, I've noticed the ones that have was addicted to them and abused them, they actually have shorter and less severe withdrawals than the ones who took them every day for some reason. It's weird. But people need to be warned. They warn everybody about opiates and heroin and alcohol. And you don't hear nobody out here warning anybody about a benzo. And a benzo can kill you coming off of it. Just like alcohol. Hell, the alcoholics were better than I was. Like, they were getting better as I was out of my... Just still fucked at 18 months, you know? That's how bad this stuff is. And you need to warn people about this. I would have lost everything. Because I cannot live. I can't do a damn thing. My life has been at a standstill for over 2 years now because of this medication. That's how bad it is. But I'll try to make another video when I'm a little better, and hopefully it'll be shorter, and maybe I'm probably forgetting a hell of a lot of information right now because I'm stupefied, like retarded. I'm so out of it, people got no clue. I know I look and I sound fine, but I'm not. But please warn people and don't take that shit, please. And if you're on it, please research it, you know. And the more times you come on and off, you're looking at a very bad withdrawal. Like, you're looking, that kindling ain't no joke. That's why one reason mine's been so long and so severe, and why I've been so brain damaged by it. But y'all take care of yourself, and I love you all, and one day I'm gonna be back, and I'm gonna be better than I ever was before. I'm already seeing a lot of improvements. My anxiety's nothing like it was. I don't get angry very rarely at all anymore. You don't hear me complaining about nothing no more like I used to. I don't even barely worry anymore. Because I've just went through complete fucking hell. And I just want my life back. I could care less about anything else. But y'all take care. Bye.